Now you wouldn't believe it if I told you.
But I can run like the wind blows.
Oh. Stop! Can't run fast enough, Audrey!
Welcome back. On this video, we're going to be discussing scams and how to protect yourself from becoming a victim. Through this video here that I put together, I took several text messages that I've received over the years and one recently, and discussing how to prevent yourself from falling into these scams. Some of them just have to do with involving clicking on it so they can put malware onto your computer or onto your phone. And the other one is basically more of a wrong text scam, which is very dangerous, I think, out of a lot of them that is out there. They're really going after the vulnerable people, elderly people, and it doesn't take very long a lot of times for them to start stealing money from them. In this video, or down below, I put a description in to a video I think that you would find very interesting, and it has to deal with a victim that fell for one of these wrong text scams. The content creator put a lot of good information in there, and then you can see how the victim fell prey to one of these wrong text scams. So let's get into this video, and hopefully at the very end of the comments we can start discussing some of these things. Maybe you fell victim to one of these scams, or you would like to talk about other scams that are out there that you're seeing, and let's see if we can share it with the community. But let's get into the video and see what we can learn. Let's look at these phishing text scams. I received this text, you can see, probably about a month ago, and it's the exact same thing I'm going to break down with a subject that received one similar to this, and they use the exact same ploy on trying to steal everything that you have by trying to become friends with you. In this text right here that you're looking at, obviously if you go down, it's a wrong text to the wrong person. And I could have kept trying to mess with them, but I just didn't feel like I had the time this day. But that's why I stopped. As she says, "Hi, I'm Annie. Nice to meet you." This is their typical ploy of what they use when they are trying to see if they can find a victim. With these scammers, most of these scams are coming from overseas. They're sending out thousands of these text messages a day to Americans, and they're really trying to look for that one vulnerable person. They're looking a lot of times for either elderly, somebody that's going through a tough time in their life and just needing a friend to talk to. And this person starts getting into their life just by saying, "Hi, nice to meet you." As we know, most people would not just strike up a conversation off a wrong text, but that's what they do. And they're hoping that people will start to give more information about their struggles and what they're going through. And I'm going to put an attachment in the description below of a channel. It's called Catfishing, and I'm going to tag in there a specific video that I'd like you to take a look at, and it's exactly what I'm explaining here. The person received this exact type of format where they send the wrong text to this individual, this victim, and pretty much they developed a relationship over time. And as you watch the video, you can see how they use this scam if you let them into it. I just ask, when you watch the video, please don't judge this gentleman. This happens all the time. This gentleman was going through a tough patch in his life. He was seeing somebody, they were not getting along very well. And this is what happens a lot of time. They just find the vulnerable people that they're able to take advantage of. And that's exactly what this person did, by being nice. And eventually, as time went on, I should say he, but the person that he's believing that he's talking to is an attractive female. And over time, the suspect just eventually just continues to be nice to him, and then starts gathering more information and then tells them how they're struggling, taking care of their family. This person's claiming that he's in the military and needs some help. And because they developed this relationship, or what he believes is a real relationship, starts sending the person money. And as you can see, especially because this came from overseas, when they're starting to send money, the person, because they're portraying that they're in the army and they're stuck over in Afghanistan, that they can only receive money in Bitcoin. And that is a huge tell there when it comes to these overseas dealings with these scammers. It's very hard, obviously, to get the American dollar over there. So they're always asking for Bitcoin, and then they'll exchange that out. So I'm going to attach a video, or excuse me, I'm going to in the description where you can actually go to and see exactly how they do this. And it helps out a lot to see how they lay everything out. And again, just don't judge the individual. Obviously, anybody can fall prey to these schemes. And that's why I think it's very important that we really look after our elderly, because that's what they're looking for, is somebody that's lonely, or needing somebody to talk to. And the next thing you know, they get deep into with these people, and then they just start stealing from them. And they honestly think on the other end that they have a genuine either relationship or friendship with somebody. And you'll see within that video, they could never get a hold of this person. It's just always by text. Anytime they say, hey, can I talk to you on the phone? They always come up with an excuse. Hey, when can we meet? Again, always come up with an excuse. There's a reason why they can't meet, because they're coming from another country and it's all a scam. But those are obviously red flags. And I think watching these videos and going over these scams is very important, that if you have a single elderly friend or any family member, just to discuss these type of scams. Our younger generation obviously sees these scams all the time. So it would be nice if you do have a parent or a grandparent that you're seeing these things, discuss it with your family. Let them know, so in case they do come across these things, they're just deleting them and they're not thinking that they're real, or this person on this side of the text or who they're discussing with is a real person. It's a real person, but it's a scam. But I think it's very important that we talk to our loved ones and our, especially like I said, our elderly generation, and let them know all these scams that are out there, so they don't fall victim to what's going on with these scams. Let's take a look at this next pic. I received this text message well over 2 years ago, but I kept it. And it's just another example of another text scam that they'll do that we need to really keep an eye on. As we have our busy lives, sometimes we do order things online and might forget about what we ordered. But this is another typical one. Sometimes it will come in through the United States Postal Service, FedEx, UPS, but it's a bogus link where you're allowing them into your computer where they can start snooping around and collecting information. But this one obviously came from the United States Postal Service. The arranged delivery for the parcel, and then a bogus number obviously has been changed. Please confirm here. And they want you to click onto that link. And obviously you do not want to do that. Normally if something would come through that, it's not going to come in this format if it is something from the United States Postal Service or FedEx or UPS. So protect yourself. Don't click on any of these links. Even if you did order something, obviously you always have a tracking system with anytime you order something online, and they're just not going to send you a text for the most part trying to get you to click on that link. Always just go to your tracking system from your order and go that way. This is obviously a complete scam, and it's still going on today, where they're just trying to find somebody that's like worried, like, oh my gosh, especially if they're waiting for a package and they want to see what's going on with their package. This complete bogus link, and they're going to get into your computer and put malware onto it and start collecting information. as you continue to use your computer, and you'll not even know that they're on there. For the next text, obviously received this one 2 years ago as well. Haven't seen this one as much, but they're still out there. Same thing, they're sending you a text. They were able to get my name, and I won something. Even though I didn't put in for anything, they'll throw it out there as like I was entered into a drawing, and it's the same type of format where they want you to click on there, and they want to put a virus on your computer, or to be able to get in there and watch you as you work, because you're giving them access when you're clicking on that link when they put the malware on there. Obviously on this day, didn't have time for them. You can see what I wrote to them, and didn't receive anything back. I guess I wasn't meant to win anything that day, even though I was the great news. I had a winning code, but I guess because of my language, I was no longer eligible. But that would be the same type of scam as you got as the other one, is the delivery scam. Let's take a look at the difference between phishing scams and spear phishing scams. When it comes to spear phishing scams, they put a little bit extra work into going after their victim and collecting information. Most of the, I shouldn't say most, but these scams are pretty much done by email. For example, if you're looking up here, this one had to do with Netflix. They were having some struggles not too long ago, but these scammers are creating fake links to reputable businesses, and they're just hoping that you might have a subscription to Netflix and you'll fall for it. Some of the things you're going to want to look at with some of these emails is really take your time. If you did have a Netflix subscription and you receive this, you might be worried that you're going to lose your subscription, or it might be turned off. The keys here are, there are a lot of times they're trying to work in fear and trying to make you think or get you to panic. So they're looking at, within these text messages, they're really just trying to get you to worry, so you'll click on this link. If you're looking at this one, really look at the way that they use their grammar, the way the page is laid out, and how they're trying to entice you to click on the link. But a lot of times, if you really study these emails that are coming in through the scams, you'll be able to identify that it's just bogus, just off of their wording and how they wrote these things up. For this one, for example, unfortunately, we are unable to approve your payment for your next subscription cycle, period, because financial institutions have rejected monthly charges. Netflix cannot receive payment. To resolve the issue, please update your payment information by pressing the button below. I just think it's funny in this one, if you actually would just take the time to read this one. They're saying that the financial institutions have rejected your monthly charges, which is absolute bogus. And then they want you to still click on this link so you can try to update your payment. Well, if the financial institutions have rejected it and it seems like they're all shut down and broke, what good is it for me to click on this? They're just wanting you, again, malware. They're trying to put something onto your computer so they can start fishing around into your computer. And at that point, they can actually see if you're on there, if you're putting anything valuable in there through your bank system or paying anything online. They're going to be able to start grabbing your information from you. And then eventually, if they can get enough of the information they need, they're going to use it against you, such as opening up different accounts and just finding ways to take your money. Even at the bottom of this, it just kind of cracks me up. It says, for more information, please visit the help center for more info or contact us. I mean, even the way that that's written, it's just poorly written. How about just, for more information, please contact the help center? But they have to throw in for more information or contact us again. It's just important when you're getting some of these scam emails to just really pay attention to what they're trying to accomplish here. They're trying to get fear in you. And it's just not through Netflix. It's through, it could be through your phone system. your phone bills, cell phone. Again, they don't have a lot of information with you when it comes to these phishing scams. They're just hoping for you to panic and click on the link. Now, it is a little different when it comes to the spear phishing scams. Now, a lot of times, these suspects will actually take the time to do a little bit more research on you, whether it's getting information from social media profiles or through just public source databases, which can lead the victim to believe that that's more of a legit email because they're able to provide your full name, maybe your address on there. And so they have certain details that they've just been able to take by doing research on the suspect, or excuse me, on the victim, in order to steal their stuff. It just, you're really wanting to keep an eye on this, because then also it's happened to me before where they've actually used that information, and obviously they're able to get your phone number as well. I've received phone calls before where I've been messing with these people, and I was actually kind of shocked because as I was messing with them, they were able to give me my first last name. They were able to give me my current home address. So they were able to do a little bit more research on me. I still knew it was a scam. They didn't get anything, but don't panic if you're get a phone call, or if you're able to, if you get a email such as that. So much of our information is out there. I mean, our information is being bought and sold daily. So these scammers are able to purchase information on people, especially when it comes to our cell phones, and then be able to just put something together, a ruse to make it believe that we're actually talking to a legit company. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be looking for with the spear phishing, is they're literally getting more of your information and collecting it and using it against you. I pulled this information off of Netflix's page, and most of your companies, not just Netflix, are going to be using the same policy. It's just something to think about if you're receiving these phishing scams. They're going to be using the same policy. And Netflix's policy is, we'll never ask you to share your personal information in a text or email. This is very important. I said, if you get a weird text message or email, they're not going to be asking for personal information. And this includes credit or debit card numbers, bank account details, or Netflix passwords. Again, the scammers are just trying to get your information or get into, let's say, your Netflix and be able to pull off your account there. Netflix will never ask for payment through a third-party vendor or website. And again, that's what most of these businesses will not do. So if you're seeing it, it's a scam. And this is the important, really important right here. If the text or emails links to a URL that you don't recognize, don't tap or click it. If you did already, do not enter any information on the website that opened. Again, once you click on that, malware, good possibility of malware is going to be placed onto your computer. And then don't go any further than that if you accidentally, but I would definitely maybe have my computer looked at before you get onto any other sites or start putting any of your information. If you're doing bank information or any type of bank detailing, I'd have my computer looked at prior to that to make sure that there is no malware placed on that, or at least run a scan through your virus protection on your computer and try to wipe all that stuff out prior to going any further into your personal information, because there's a high probability that they can see it. So let's wrap this video up. As we discussed throughout these whole videos, the different type of scams we're looking for, whether it's phishing scams, spear scams, the text scams, they're all dangerous. But as we live in an aging community, the one that worries me the most out of all these would have to be the text wrong number scam. We do have a lot of vulnerable population inside the villages. And I just think it's very important that we take care of one another, whether you have friends that might be single, or you might think that might be lonely. Keep an eye on them and discuss these scams with them. prior to, hopefully before it ever happens to them or before they even get one of these text messages. It's just important that people have the information ahead of time. So if they do even get a scam like that and they instantly see that the person says the wrong number and they want to send that next text message out that apologizes and says thank you for being so nice, don't answer it. Just delete it and move on. It's a scam. And it's very important that we take care of each other in that aspect. If the people don't know the information and they're going through a tough time in their life, they might fall victim to this scam. So get the information out there. I hope that you're able to share this video to protect one another. And I guarantee it, as time goes on, the scammers, the crooks, excuse my language, these pieces of shit are going to continue to change and evolve their scams. So the more that we talk about it, the more that as a new one comes out, as soon as we can get that information out there to protect one another, we'll be able to try to squash these scams down quicker so there's not as many victims out there. So I hope you enjoyed this content, and we'll see you on the next one.